Hello everyone, welcome to the another lecture of language of chemistry. So in today's class we will learn about the needs for balancing the chemical equation or how to balance a chemical equation. Okay, so before starting this, in the last class we have discussed about the law of conservation of mass, right? So according to the law of conservation of mass, matter can neither be created nor be destroyed. Okay, only it can be transferred from one form to another. Because of this because of this theory, or we can say that because of this statement, we used to balance the chemical equation. Okay, so why there is a need to balance the chemical equation? So the first need is a chemical equation. When we talk about the chemical equation, needs to be balanced so as to make the number of atoms of the reactant equal to the number of atoms of the product. We know that suppose this is A plus B, it is reacting to form C. So this side is called what? Reactant side, and this side is called what? Product side, right? This side is called product side and this side is called reactant side, right? So to a chemical reaction need to be balanced so as to make what? The number of atoms in the reactant equal to the number of atoms to the product, right? So because why there is a need to balance the number of electrons, number of atoms in the reactant and the product? Because a chemical reaction is just a rearrangement of atoms, and the atoms themselves are neither created nor destroyed during the course of chemical reaction. Means what? When you talk about the chemical reaction is nothing but the rearrangement. Okay, it is a rearrangement of atoms. Okay, and atoms can neither be created nor be destroyed during the course of chemical reaction. Means whatever the chemical reaction is taking place, I will give you one example. Suppose there is a sodium, okay, and this sodium is reacting with chlorine to form what? NaCl, right? So when you see the properties of NaCl, it is entirely different from this sodium and this chlorine, right? But you will see in sodium chloride, the atoms are sodium and chlorine only, right? It is not like this, no, that this sodium is changing into lithium or any other, or it is changing into a aluminum like this. No, right? No, right? The atom is same as you can see, but what has happened here? It is just there is a rearrangement. Okay, so chemical reaction is also a rearrangement. It's just a rearrangement of atom, and the atoms themselves are neither created nor destroyed during a course of action. Okay, so one example is given here, as you can see. The balanced chemical equation for the reaction between hydrogen and chlorine can be written as S2 plus Cl2 will give 2HCl. So here you can see how many hydrogen? 2 hydrogen. Here also how many hydrogen? 2 hydrogen. Chlorine, C2 chlorine. So here also 2 chlorine. Because as you can see, when I am writing like this, when you are writing like this, 2HCl, this means that there are, this 2 is for hydrogen also, and this 2 is for chlorine also. Okay, this 2 is for when you are writing 2HCl. So it means that this 2 is for hydrogen also, and this 2 is for chlorine also. Okay, so I hope you have got some idea. Now next is what, how we can define this balanced chemical equation. So a balanced chemical equation, or we can say the balanced chemical reaction is the one in which the number of atoms of each element on reactant side is equal to the number of atom of that element on the product side. Okay, so a balanced chemical equation is what? A balanced chemical reaction is one in which the number of atoms of each the reactant side is equal to the number of atoms on the product side. Okay, so when you talk about this reaction, this side is called reactant and this side is called product. Okay, so as you can see, number of hydrogen here 2, here also 2, here also chlorine is 2, here also chlorine is 2. Means what? The reactant is equal to product, right? Reactant is equal to product. So balanced chemical equation is what? It is a chemical reaction in which the reactant is equal to the number of product. Okay, now what is the significance of balanced chemical equations? So when we talk about the significance of balanced chemical equation, so first is it show which substance are taking part in the chemical reaction and what product are obtained as a result of it. Okay, So because of this chemical, because of this chemical equations, we can know that it shows what it shows, which substance is taking part in the chemical reaction and what is the product of the reaction, right? Just example, you have seen H2 plus Cl2 will give what? HCl, right? HCl2 HCl. So means what? Here we can, from this chemical reaction we can easily understand that in HCl there is hydrogen and chlorine, right? Now next thing what we can say, it shows the number of molecules, and the number of atoms involved in the reaction, right? What does it shows? It shows the both the number of molecules and the number of atoms involved in the chemical reaction. Just like example, H2 plus Cl2 will give what? 2HCl. Means what? There is two HCl molecule, okay, two hydrogen molecule, hydrogen atom and two chlorine atom, right? Here from this equation what we can conclude? We can conclude like this, that this HCl is what? This is the molecule of hydrogen chloride, right? HCl. So here this two molecule of HCl, and here one molecule of chlorine and one molecule of hydrogen, okay, or we can say the two atom of hydrogen, here also two atom of chlorine, and here two molecules of HCl, right? Now next is it enable us to calculate the actual amount of the reactant and the product involved in the formation of chemical reaction, right? From these chemical equations we can easily calculate the amount of, or we can say that it can easily calculate the mass or the mass of the reactant and the product involved in the formation of chemical reaction, right? How we can calculate? If atomic mass of each of the element involved in the reaction is known, right? If we know the mass of the, suppose we are talking about the, this example, same thing, right? H2 plus Cl2, let me write it clearly here. Suppose we have H2, okay, plus Cl2, it is giving what? 2HCl, okay. So if you want to find out, this is the product, if you want to find out the mass of this product, we can easily find out, because we know that hydrogen atomic mass is 1 plus chlorine is how much? Chlorine, the mass of chlorine is what? 35.5. So 35.5, if you will add this it will be 36.5, after that we will multiply by 2, right? So we can easily find out the mass, right? Now it makes the study of chemistry universally standardized. With the help of this, it makes the study of chemistry universally standardized, okay. As one more example is given here, 2Ca plus O2 will give 2CaO, okay. Now next is what we can say, that this chemical equation indicates that if you talk about this Ca plus 2Ca plus O2 will give 2CaO. So this chemical reaction, this chemical equation involves that calcium react with oxygen to form what? Calcium oxide, right? Here calcium reacting with oxygen to form what? Calcium oxide, right? Now next is two monoatomic molecules. As you can see, this is what? Monoatomic. This is also a monoatomic. So two monoatomic molecules of calcium combine with one diatomic molecules of oxygen to produce two molecules of calcium oxide. Means what? As you can see, monoatomic only here. Monoatomic means only one, right? Only one atom of calcium. So two monoatomic calcium, okay, molecule is combining with one diatomic. Means you can see here oxygen is 2, means, right, 2 means di, right? So here it is reacting with one diatomic molecules of oxygen to produce two molecules of calcium oxide, right? Now next what we can say, the atomic mass of calcium is what? 40 AMU, right? And that of the oxygen is 16 AMU, right? So from this example we can calculate the total mass of calcium oxide, which will be 2 into 40, which is 80, and 2 into 16 is 32. So 18 plus 32, 80 plus 32 is equal to 112. As you can see, we can find out like this, 2 CaO is there, right? So we can write like this, 2 Ca is what? 40 plus 16, it will be what? 40 plus 16, 56. So 2 into 56 is 2 into 56 is, it will be 112, right? So it will be 112. So in the same way we can find out the atomic mass also. As you can see, the atomic mass of calcium is 40, oxygen is 16. So from this above example, what we can say, that the total mass of the calcium oxide in calcium taking part in the reaction is 2 into 40, which is 80 unit, and for oxygen 2 into 16 is 32 unit. After that, when you will calculate the total mass of the reactant, it will be, total mass will be 80 plus 32, which is 112 unit, right? Now again, if you will see the mass of the calcium oxide, so mass of the calcium oxide mass will be formed by 2 into 40 plus 60, as I have already told you, it will be 112. So you can see the reactant side is also coming, 112, and product side is also coming 112, right? So hence what we can say, 80 unit of calcium combined with the 32 units of oxygen to produce 112 unit of calcium oxide, right? So this is also in accordance with the law of conservation of mass, or we can say law of conservation of matter, because the total mass of the reactant is always equal to total mass of product. Okay, so according to the law of conservation of mass, what we can say, the total mass of reactant is always equal to total mass of the product. Okay, now next is how to balance the chemical equation. Okay, so for this there are some of the steps which we have to follow. Suppose first example is burning of magnesium in presence of oxygen. So for some example is given. As you can see, the first example is burning of magnesium to in the presence of oxygen. So when we talk about the burning of magnesium in presence of oxygen, what will happen? Magnesium burn in oxygen to give what? Magnesium oxide. Okay, so as you can see, what in what equation, what we can write, magnesium plus oxygen, it will give what? Magnesium oxide. Since we know that magnesium is denoted by Mg and oxygen is denoted by O2, right? So how we can write this in a formula method? How we can write this? We can write like this, right? We can write like this: Mg, for magnesium we can write Mg, plus for oxygen we can write O2, and as a whole it will combine to form what? MgO, right? So as you can see, MgO. So what will be the skeletal equation? It will be like this: Mg plus O2 will give MgO, right? So here you see Mg is 1, so here is also Mg is 1. Here oxygen is 2, but here oxygen is 1, right? So it is not balanced, right? So it is not balanced. As you can see here, how much magnesium is there? Only one magnesium. If you will do, we will see in the reactant side magnesium is 1 and oxygen is 2, right? But in the product side you will see magnesium is 1, right? But oxygen is also 1, right? So how, what we will do, we will balance this oxygen, because we know that according to the law of conservation of mass, total mass of the reactant is always equal to total mass of the product, right? So now how to balance this we will see, because this equation is not balanced, right? This equation is not yet balanced. So how to balance this we will see. So first of all, what we have to do, we have to count the number of atoms of each of the element on either side, as we have seen, right? So first of all, count the number of atoms of each element on either side. It is convenient to start balancing with the compound that contains a maximum number of atoms. Okay, so as you can see, first of all we have to count. So when you will count, you will see in MgO magnesium is 1. Okay, number of atoms of each element on the reactant side. Okay, left hand side, reactant side. So magnesium, there magnesium is 1, as I have already told you. Oxygen is 2, right? Again, if you will measure the product side, there you will get magnesium will be 1 and oxygen will be 1, right? Just like this: Mg plus O2 plus O2 will give what? MgO, right? MgO. So here if magnesium is 1, oxygen was, but here magnesium was 1, oxygen was 2, right? So therefore what we will do, we can see that there is an extra oxygen atom present in the reactant side, right? So what we have seen, one extra atom present in the reactant side, right? So what we will do, we will multiply the product side by 2, because there are 2 atoms of oxygen present in the reactant side. So what we have did, we had just multiplied the product side with 2. So as you can see, when you have multiplied this is the reactant side, so this is the when you have multiplied the reactant product side by 2. Now what we will get now. So in the reactant side we will be magnesium will be 1, oxygen will be 2, and in the product side now this 2 is for this also and for this also. So here magnesium will become 2 and oxygen will also become 2. Now again problem is there, you see, in the reactant side there is only one magnesium, right? Now but in the product side, magnesium in the reactant side only one magnesium, but when you have multiplied this product with 2, in the product side you have got 2 magnesium. Okay, oxygen is same, as you can see, this one is same, but the magnesium is not same. So now what we will do, since magnesium is 1 and magnesium is extra, so what we will do, we will now next what we will do, as you can see, but this means that there is now there is now one extra atom of magnesium present in the right hand side of the products, right hand side, right? As you can see, this side is one in the product side there is one extra, because in the reactant side only one, product side two, right? Now what we will do, now again we will multiply, we will multiply 2. Okay, multiply the magnesium atom on the left hand side by 2. Now what we will do, we will again multiply this side with 2. So when you will multiply this side with 2, so now we will get magnesium as 2, oxygen as 2, and right hand side also, in the product side also, we have magnesium 2 and oxygen 2, right? So now it is balanced, right? As you can see, magnesium is also 2 here, here also 2, here oxygen is also 2, here also oxygen is also 2. So this equation is now balanced. As you can see, how we can write, 2 Mg plus O2 will give 2 MgO, right? Here you can see 2 Mg is 2, here also Mg is 2, here oxygen is 2, here oxygen is 2, right? So in this way we have to balance the chemical equation, right? So I hope you have understood this, right? Now how to write, for writing also there is some rules how to write this one. We cannot write randomly anything, right? So for writing also there is rule. As you can see, whatever the number you are writing to balance the atom of a molecule, you are neither supposed to insert the number in between the formula nor by changing the formula. But means, what does it means, that we could not change the formula, because the formula of magnesium oxide is MgO. So we cannot change the formula. You cannot write like Mg2O2, or we cannot write Mg2O. Like this way you cannot write, like, right? It should be MgO only. We cannot change the formula. Just you can add here 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever it needs to balance, but this will not change, this will remain same as it is, right? So what it is written, you can see, whatever the number you are writing to balance the atoms of a molecules, you are neither supposed to insert the number in between the formula nor change the formula. Okay, we cannot change the formula. So as you can see, Mg plus O2 will be Mg2O. We cannot write like this, it will be MgO only, it will not change. Okay, MgO, this formula will not change. Okay, so now next is one more example is given, reaction between hydrogen and oxygen to produce water. So you know that, as you can see, hydrogen plus oxygen, it will give water. So hydrogen is the formula of the reactant, hydrogen is H2, oxygen is O2. Okay, while the product of the formula is H2O, right? So as you can see, when you are writing the skeletal form, it will be H2 plus O2 will give H2O. So here you can see there are 2 hydrogen, 2 oxygen, but here 2 hydrogen, only 1 oxygen, right? So this is not balanced, so we have to balance this. So how we will balance this? We will first count the number of atoms on each of the element on the right hand side. On the reactant side, you see 2 hydrogen and 2 oxygen, right? And on the product side, it is only 2 hydrogen is there, but only one oxygen, right? So now there is one extra hydrogen oxygen atom is on the reactant side, right? As you can see here, in the reactant side, 2 hydrogen, here 2 hydrogen, here 2 oxygen, here only 1 oxygen. Means here in the reactant side, one extra oxygen is there, right? Now, so there is one extra atom, extra oxygen atom on the right reactant side, right? So now what we will do, we will multiply the product side by 2. Now when we will multiply the product side with 2, what we will get, we will get here H2, here hydrogen is 2, here oxygen is 2. Now again in the product side you can see here, in the product side the hydrogen will become 2, because this 2 is for this also, and this 2 is for this also, but already here hydrogen 2 is there, right? So this 2 is here, right? Already 2 is here, so this 2 will be multiplied with this 2, right? Always remember it like this. If we are writing 2H2O means what? This 2 and this 2 will multiply for this, okay, and this 2 will be for this. So means if we are writing here 2H2O, it means that there is hydrogen is 4, okay, this means that hydrogen is 4 and oxygen is 2, okay, because here already 2 hydrogen was there, and when we have multiplied here 2, so this 2 will be multiplied, 2 into 2 is 4, right? So hydrogen will become 4, and this 2 is for oxygen, so oxygen will become 2, right? So the same thing he has done here. As we can see, hydrogen has become what? 4, and oxygen has become 2. So means again 2 extra hydrogen has we have got here, right? We have got what? This means that there are 2 extra hydrogen atom on the product side, okay. Now again, since 2 extra hydrogen is on the product side, so what we will do, we will again multiply 2 on the left hand side, okay. So as you can see, again we have multiplied 2 on the left hand side. Now when we have multiplied 2 on the left hand side, now we have got what? Hydrogen is 4, oxygen is 2, and here also hydrogen is 4 and oxygen is also 2. So this is what? This is a balanced equation, okay. So what we can say, that this equation is balanced, okay. As you can see, this equation is now balanced. As you can see, 4 hydrogen 2 oxygen, here also 4 hydrogen and 2 oxygen, okay. So I hope you have understood this also. So keep up to this. In the next class we will discuss about the this one reaction with iron reaction of iron with hydrogen chloride, okay, hydrochloric acid, reaction of iron with hydrochloric acid, okay. So I hope today's class you have understood, right? So keep up to this. Till that, thank you.